Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Wheat Sheaf Hotel. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge that we are meeting on Kaurna land and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. So what's your story? My name's Adam Page. I am really excited to perform this show for you all. Give me a woo if you have seen me do my thing before. Okay, cool. So you've seen me do my thing. That's great. Give me a woo if you haven't. Ooh. Okay. Okay. The woos are a little bit larger in number than the woos. So, okay. So as you know, I improvise a lot of the music that I perform. And for this season of The Fringe, I thought, how can I do something a little bit different? When I'm not on stage doing what I do, I'm spending a lot of time composing. I write a lot. I'm very lucky to be writing a lot for the Adelaide Symphony Orchestra at the moment, which we have some members out here in the audience somewhere. ASO! 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 Wow. The Trumpism is it's coming in. Before I embark on a composition, I always spend so much time thinking about the story, thinking about what is this about, and sitting with that before I write a note. Sometimes it'll be a couple of months before I write a note, but when I write that note, it's a good one because the story is so strong. So for this show, I wanted to open it up to members of the audience to give me some ideas, to tell me a story, as long as it's a short story, or just give me some imagery or something, anything for me to plant into my mind and turn into music on this stage. So, does anybody want to say something? Anyone want to hear something? Does anyone want to tell me about something about their lives? It can be happy, it can be a sad memory, it can be whatever. Yes. Do you want to come up and talk to people? Ah. Okay. What is your name? Deborah. Come on up, Deborah. Now, Deborah, tell me about your life.
I didn't quite expect this.
Okay, that's okay. Oh, you're a Kiwi.
I am a Kiwi.
Awesome. Up to the microphone, please. Yes. Okay, Deborah, tell me something.
I want to tell you a story about that I thought you might actually be able to turn into music. So I worked on South Island of the West Coast, West Coast of the South Island, and I worked for conservation for many years. But as a recreationalist in the beautiful place in the world, I was able to go out every day to a national park because we live nearby. But on the national park, just a little bit north of it, was some cliffs. And in the cliffs, if you can understand that, in Australia, we actually practiced some really exciting outdoor recreation. And I thought about the sound of the sea, because this is part of the music that I'd like to hear. So the first part of it is to abseil down the cliff, across the crashing waves, and then to go back up again. And we're actually starting off on a cliff side, but it's got flax on it.
Oh, flax.
Flax.
Tattoo.
Absolutely beautiful. And so the flax, of course, shimmers in the wind and makes sounds in the wind. And then going over the side, the first experience is to make sure that you've rigged up properly, and that's quite scary if you haven't. But then you know you have. And then you go down. And then going down is quite...
it's quite serene.
It's actually not serene because below you are some waves where the sea's coming in and it's really, really crashing. I cannot go down below a certain point. I have to go back up again.
Amazing.
So I'll leave you to it.
I have my work set out for me. No, thank you so much, Deborah, wasn't it? Yeah, thank you so much, Deborah. Okay. We start on the cliff. Let's call it We Start on the Cliff. I was there, Deborah. Like, I was totally there, and I kept seeing the flax, because I don't know if you guys have seen flax when it's in, when it takes over a space, and it's prolific in New Zealand. And there was tuis, the tui bird, which is a wonderful native bird to New Zealand. They are designed perfectly to eat the nectar from the flower of the flax plant, because they have this little white beard like mine, and when they put their beaks, which are perfectly formed to go into the flower, whatever it's called, the pollen gathers on their beards, and at the end of the day, they've got like yellow beards, basically. Have you seen that, Deborah? Have you seen the yellow beard of the tui after they've had a big day on the flax? Yeah, it's fascinating. So I was thinking about the tuis. I was thinking about the shimmering light. Yeah. Anyway, thank you. That was beautiful imagery. Give it up for Deborah. Beautiful imagery. Amazing. Far out. I want to play more music. So, does anyone else want to? Hello. Was it Isla? Isla, come on up. Oh, by the way, Cotton On Kids. My daughter's got one of those jumpers, and I'm like, I want one of them. Hello, Isla. Hang on. Okay. Hello. Here we go. How old are you, Isla?
8.
You're 8? Might want to crank that, Marty. You're 8. So, tell me something. Is it about helicopters?
No. Once, when I was at stage, I wanted to be the main lead of one of the princesses, but the teacher that was teaching had a daughter, and she made her the queen, and I went like this to the stage. And they just broke the wand. And I had to sit in timeout for 10 minutes.
All right. You go, girl. Okay, so this is kind of like, this is a feisty sort of tune, isn't it? This is just like, my name's Isla, and I wanted that part, and it's not fair that your daughter got that part, so I'm going to snap the wand.
And I just went like, bye-bye.
Just keep doing that through life, and you'll go far. All right, Isla, let's do it. All right. All right, you can have a seat now. Thank you. What musical was it? Or what play was it? Swans and princesses. Okay. Okay, cool. But I'm going for the feisty angle. Here we go. All right. Snap. wanted that part so much, but then your daughter got the part. I was so angry, I broke the wand. I should have got the part. I should have got the part. I should have got the part of the princess and the queen and the king and the jester and the dog. I should have got the part. I should have got the part. But instead I snapped that wand right in your face. Slap that wand right in your face. Snap that wand right in your face. Yeah, in your face. Yeah, I'm gonna snap that wand right in your face. Yeah. Yes, I should have. I should have got the part. Yes, I should have. I should have got the part. Yes, I should have got the part. Yes, I should have got the part. Yes, I should have. Got the part, yes, I should have 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 got the part, yes, I. Actually, while I was singing that, I was thinking, no, actually, I should have got the part. That should have been about me. I should have got that part. I mean, come on. Isla, are you drawing me? No? She so is, isn't she? Yeah, totally. All right. Can I get a copy of that later? Yeah, sure. I can see my beard from here. It's a good beard. It's a good beard. Thank you, Isla. Thank you. That was fun. So we've abseiled off the cliffs on the west coast of the South Island. We've snapped some wands and gone, what are we doing now? Where are we going? What are we doing? Is there anyone that wants to give me something? Anybody? I can see a hand. Come on up. Come on up. I know who you are, but introduce yourself to the crowd.
Hi, I'm Fontella. And actually, I used to work with Adam's father
Way
back
back.
in Mount Gambier. So, I was lucky enough to grow up in Central Australia, and
What part?
Alice Springs.
Alice Springs.
And in summer, we all lived in the pool because that's what you did when it was 45 degrees. But I used to have this fascination. I used to lie on my back, floating on the pool, and watch the eagles circle above, and watch and have the backdrop of the McDonald Ranges, and it's an image that's always stayed with me. Plus, wide open spaces, awe-inspiring.
Okay. Thank you, Fontella. This is really fun. I'm really enjoying this. This is cool because this is exactly how it happens for me when I'm composing. It's just like I sit around and I wait for a story to come, and I mean, I'm pretty sure if actually, well, let's do this little experiment here. Start thinking about music in your head, because for me, like I hear all of this now. So we're in Alice Springs where it's hot, okay, summertime pool, but lying on the back. There's that for me, the thing I just picked up from that was, when you've got your ears under the water, and there's above. Okay. Can mine be like below? Ah, floaties. This is getting complicated, Fontella. Anyway, ears underwater. Floating on the back, watching the eagles above with the McDonald Rangers behind. Can you kind of hear something? Am I? Yeah, you can, because you're Nancy Bates. There's Nancy Bates. Hi, Nancy Bates.
Oh, no, and the big blue sky.
The very big blue sky. Okay. Well, I've got a reverb pedal down here called a Big Sky. So I'm going to use the reverb pedal, and I'm going to play a lot of clarinet on this one. Okay. Thank you so much. I became the eagle. I became the eagle, and I was looking down at you. Thank you. I mean, it's an amazing place to fly into as well. Like, I love flying into Alice Springs. It's fascinating. It's just like there's just all this red earth and the bushfire scars as well, which I was seeing as the eagle as well. And then there's Alice, and yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. The thing I love about this particular way of music making is that the story you give me is just the start, and the music then, I guess, it unfolds in my mind, and it kind of your story is the first chapter, and I create other chapters while I'm making the music, and it's beautiful for me. And I think I'm glad that we're recording tonight, because there's a lot of stuff that's happening tonight that I hear as an orchestral piece, and I hear some of the changes of timbres, etc. It's like, oh wow, that could be the string section, that could be the woodwinds, the brass, etc., etc. So for me as a composer, this is a vital part of my growth, like these gigs. So thank you. This is really, really fun. I want something else now. Somebody? Anybody? Yes. Come on up. Oh, hello. This is Bridget. How are you? I haven't seen you for ages. Well, I saw you like,
a few
months ago. But before that, it's ages.
Yeah. Yeah, my name's Bridget. I recently started a new job. I'm a nurse, but I started a new job at the emergency department in the RA, so it's been a bit of a crazy time. But my story, I think, is a very quick one, but as you can, I'm sure, imagine, the emergency department at the moment is pretty hectic, and every shift for me has been a moment of realisation of the world that we live in, and it's just been crazy. And the particular story, I think, for me is like going to work every day or every evening, and more particularly for this one, every evening, and bumping into people while you're at work, and just the absolute chaos that is a workplace at the moment. And I think like you could probably use the horn a little bit on this one, you know, bumping into people and going, oh, I'm so sorry, and like running off and going to see your patients, and just being absolutely like driven in trying to do as much as possible in one small short shift, and then getting to the end of my day, and I park on the opposite side of the city, and so I take the time to walk from the RA to Frome Road every night when I'm on a night shift or an evening shift, and I walk past, I go over King William, and then I walk past the museum and Adelaide Uni, and they've got all those waterfalls out the front, and it's the most serene thing I've ever experienced, going from the most hectic shift of my life to just water flowing and no one, not like a single person in the city, and just hearing waterfall, and yeah, going from horns and chaos to flutes and calm peacefulness. Little inspiration for you.
I gotta say, Bridget, you're the real rock star of the world. I think the frontline workers. Yeah, thank you. It must be. I can't even imagine. Yeah, please. And thanks for sharing that as well. I'm sure that's not an easy thing to share, because you're meant to kind of have a strong face, and yeah. So thanks for sharing that. How's that for serenity? Just you wait. Okay. You wanted flutes? You wanted flutes? That's like a 3,000-year-old flute. Anyway. The chaos. I'm seeing the I'm seeing fluorescent light, you know, and I'm seeing that unnatural kind of brightness, the stark brightness, the dryness of the situation. Yeah. Okay. No reverb on this one then. Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, I kind of got lost in the music more than the story just then. But I did. I love North Terrace, and I love that part of North Terrace at night as well. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yep. It's a totally different place. It is. Man, I love learning this stuff about you all. It's beautiful. It's just awesome. I want to do 100 shows, not 3. Now, we're nearing the end of this journey for me, and I'd like to squeeze in a couple more. Is there anyone else that wants to share? Oh, hello, my old landlord. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Kaz, and Adam, I'm not going to ask you to do the fire story.
You're not, or you
No,
are?
no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. That's your story. A sailing story.
That's right. You're a sailor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sailing back from American River on Kangaroo Island with someone on board very well known to you, Pete.
Ah, Pete.
So we're sailing back from American River, and we sail out of Eastern Cove, which, if you know, is a really beautiful place. And it's a light breeze and a beautiful day, and we go past Kangaroo Head, and then we get out into Backstairs Passage, Investigator Strait, and there's a big 3-metre swell coming up from the south, but with, light winds. So we're just kind of cruising up and down these big waves. So we come up to the top of the hill and we see everything, and then we go down into the well, and we come up. And so that goes on for a few hours, and we come in past Rapid Head, and then the sea breeze comes into the mainland, and it starts getting really quite windy, very windy, and then the wind waves come up. And just as we are coming into Wirrina, because we're going into Wirrina for the night, it's really very windy, and we've got these sort of big 2-metre wind waves, which are not the big gentle swells, they're short, sharp waves. So we come into Wirrina, which has got a really small entrance, which is just really big piles of rocks, and then you have to try to kind of get into this little thing out of the weather, this narrow entrance. So as we're coming in, we put the motor on and bring all the sails down, because to go into a marina you have to go in under motor. And we're heading into this narrow entranceway with the rocks, and the rocks are about over the end of the room there, and suddenly the engine cuts out and we've got no propulsion. And the wind and the waves are driving the boat towards the rocks. So it's kind of a bit scary.
Yeah.
And Pete, to his credit, didn't scream, "Oh my God, we're all going to die," or anything like that. He just was very quiet. And I had to figure out what was going wrong and get us safely past the rocks into Wirrina. So I had someone else's life there as well as mine to look after.
And see, Pete is the father of my partner, Georgia. And was this before Georgia was born?
No, but it was
Okay.
before your children were born.
Yeah. Okay.
And so my first thought was something's wrapped around the prop. And so I had to figure out what to do. So I quickly thought, well, if I put it in neutral, try the engine again and it starts, I can throw it into reverse, throw it into forward to try and loosen up whatever's on the prop and get some propulsion going, because the sails are down, remember? So we've got some motor. And so I do that. I tell Pete to turn the engine on and it starts. So then I'm doing this backwards and forwards with the throttle to try and loosen up the prop. And then finally we get just enough propulsion to get us just past the rocks.
into the calm water.
And it was calm.
Oh, the marina's calm. Once
Yeah.
you get in that entranceway, it's calm. But outside, it's very rough.
All right.
So a mixture of kind of, protracted bliss followed by brief and momentary terror, followed by calm and relief.
So kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are waves that look like that as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, yeah. All right, thanks. All right, here we go. I spent 3.5 years on cruise ships, and it was the best 10 years of my life. I'm very aware of sailing and the big swells, and it's a beautiful moment when you feel safe within the swells, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Gonna do that. Gonna do that. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was intense! Whoa. Wow. Okay. Thank you for that. That was really fun. Let's do one more. Not as scary as that one. Anyone? I'd like to do one more thing. Ah, yes. Come on up. What's your name? Hello, Sophie. How are you? Awesome. Are you enjoying yourself, Sophie?
It's fantastic.
I'm having a better time than you. Because I get to do stuff like... Sorry. It's very loud. Hey, Sophie.
Hi.
Tell me something.
I have a love story for you if you would like to do a love story.
I'd love to end on a love story.
So me and my current partner have lived within 5 minutes of each other our whole lives, but we never knew each other until last year.
Wow.
And as we got to know each other, we discovered all of these times that we had actually met and had these different impressions of each other, and then us meeting later in life and falling in love. Like, we found out that we went to the same kindergarten, which is in the suburb that we both were when we were very young. And then we realized that we must have met in year 6, because I went to an all-boys school. So I went to an all-girls school, and he went to an all-boys school. And there was one time in year 6 where they made us get together and play these board games, and it was very funny that there was this complete divide of all the girls on one side of the room and all the boys on one side of the room. And I was like, they're just boys, like, they're people too. You can talk to them. And I went over and tried to talk to them, and they were all super awkward, and none of them wanted to talk to me. But I probably met him at that time, because those were our classes. And then I remember in year 9, there was a school dance, and this girl who I didn't like very much ran up to me and was like, you have to meet this guy. He's like exactly the guy version of you. And I was like, okay. And she introduced me to, like, possibly the most awkward person I'd ever met in my life. Who was just, and I was like, so do you like video games? Boys like video games. And he was like, not really. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. But I think that was him. And then we met in year 12 when I organised a concert, and he walked into the room because I had bands from different schools come to play, and he walked in with this enormous Marshall guitar amplifier, which I later learned was an amplifier that he had borrowed from somebody else and the only one that he had. But he walked in with this enormous amplifier to the school concert and was like, hey, is there anywhere I can put this? And I was like, all right, mate, yeah, sure. And then a mutual friend, we started a band together, and then we just found out that there were so many ways in which we were so similar, and that we were, not that I believe in soulmates necessarily, but that there are so many parts of us that resonated with each other so deeply, despite all of these, like, missed opportunities to be friends and to know each other throughout our lives. So going from the spectrum of being, like, physically close but complete strangers to knowing each other so well and being so resonant with each other in that way.
Amazing. So is your partner here tonight?
He's not.
Oh. Well.
He was invited, but
Yeah.
it's okay.
He's like, Adam Page, I don't want to see him. That's a beautiful story, Sophie. I like to think about it as like the mobile of life, you know, like the mobiles that are up on the roof, flying around and stuff, and you're somewhere in the middle, and you've got all these people that you meet in your life, and some of them just kind of like come back into your life every now and then, but there's always those constants that kind of like just the wind blows them in.
Story.
It's a very Adelaide story. That's beautiful. All right, I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it. Thank you, Sophie. This one's got to be kind of nice. Sax solo anyway, right? Oh yeah, 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 oh yeah. Thank you so much. And Sophie, thank you for sharing that story with me. Thank you, everybody, for sharing your stories tonight. It's been a wonderful evening for me. I'm feeling it big time. So, yeah, I would say tell your friends to come and see my other shows, but they're all sold out. So, but we are streaming these on the WheatyLIVE Facebook thingy. So if you want to see tomorrow night's show and Friday night's show, jump onto the Wheaty's Facebook. Also, if you would like to see a lot more of me, I'm doing a 24-hour gig in April at The Lab, which is a new venue here in town, on the 29th of April through to the 30th of April, starting at 7 p.m. and on the Thursday night and finishing at 7 p.m. on the Friday night. And why? I don't know. But I'm going to have a bunch of instruments, a lot of coffee, and check it out. It's the venue's called The Lab. Tickets will be on sale soon. And also, obviously, check out other bands here at the Wheaty. But come and see me at The Lab on the 29th. Yeah, 24 hours, all that stuff. But you've been an absolutely amazing audience. For my first show doing this thing, I couldn't have asked for it to go any better. So thank you so much. You're all amazing. Thank you. Good night.